Hello and welcome everyone to Black in Laguna Woods. I'm Willie Phillips, standing in for Annie McCrary, the president of the African American Heritage Club. I'm the vice president, and we are glad that you're tuning in again today. I'm especially excited to be hosting today. We have special guests, Lawrence Young and Crystal Starr. Lawrence Young is going to be performing as Marvin Gaye in his Trouble Man tribute to Marvin Gaye, and Crystal Starr is going to be singing and performing as Tammy Terrell. So I know you guys don't want to hear from me. I want to hear from them as much as you do. So I'm going to ask Lawrence Young to introduce himself and tell us a little bit about his history and background with music, and then he'll be followed by the lovely Crystal Starr.
All right. Thank you guys for having me. We're really excited about the show coming up. I was born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky. Come from a heavy church background. Music was all in my family. Everybody was a musician, a singer, or a preacher in my family. So we all went to the same church and just music all day, every day. I got into the arts early. I went to performing arts high school and then went on to college for acting and some other things. And then I just started really heavily getting into music and got a record deal and that sort of thing. And I kind of never looked back after that. Moved out to LA and started pursuing pursuing being an independent recording artist, where I put out like 5 or 6 albums so far. And yeah, that's pretty much my musical background, just in the church, then it led me here to Los Angeles.
Okay, Crystal.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up singing. I grew up here in Los Angeles. I'm from West Covina, California. Grew up singing. I think my first thing was with a jazz musician named Howard McCrary. He's my godfather, and really inspired me to really start doing it professionally. And so from the age of 12, just being encouraged by him to going to college, and then from college singing background for various artists, Heather Headley, Jessica Simpson, Kanye West, Ariana Grande, to then going to Broadway. I started on Broadway in a show called Baby It's You, and which was a lot of fun. We had about a year run on Broadway, and you got a chance to see that as well. It was a lot of fun, a lot of really good fun in New York, and then came back home and started recording my own albums as well, just like Elle, and just released a single last Friday called Let Go. So it's just been a great journey, and it's a great journey doing this show with Elle. It's really fun to see so many people really taken back to the time where they really loved music with Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell, and the fact that we get to step in their shoes, it's an honor.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Why Marvin Gaye? Do you do any other tributes, or is Marvin Gaye the only one?
No, Marvin Gaye is the only one, and it was kind of not on purpose. I wouldn't say it's accident. I don't believe in accidents when something comes together like this has. But like Crystal said, we're both recording artists. We have records out. We're busy doing shows and planning album release parties and doing videos and stuff for our own music. And so doing a tribute show is something that wasn't on my radar. But there was a very nice lady. She owns a nice restaurant in Anaheim, and she only does tribute shows at a restaurant. So she's been trying to get me to perform there for years. For years, she calls me. And one time I just had a soft spot. I was like, okay, I'll come. I'll do a show. But I don't really do tribute shows. That's just not my thing. I don't do that. And she was like, well, that's the only thing we do here. It sells really well and blah, blah, blah. And, can you please do one? I was like, okay. So my natural inclination was to do something that I music I've always sing all the time. It's like Stevie Wonder or something, right? And she was like, no, we can't do that. We already had one. So she suggested Marvin Gaye. And I was like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to do a deep dive into the music again and refamiliarize my stuff with this stuff. And Marvin is not easy to sing. You know, Marvin is a singer's singer, you know, much like Stevie. And I said yes, and I immediately called Crystal. I was like, I can't do this with anyone but her. So I called her and asked her would she do the Tammy Terrell stuff, and she was like, yeah, it's gonna be fun. And as soon as we announced it, it sold out like within one day. And
5 minutes.
Yeah. It was like,
Wow.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
tickets were gone. And it was like, okay, it was like, all right.
They were
well,
fighting at the door to get in, like they were upset.
Yeah, people were upset. They were like, we're gonna come in anyway. That's what we heard. And so once we saw that response, that was like the first little alarm bell that went off. And then the reaction of the people when we actually did the show. I was a little taken aback. I was like, wow, I didn't know this music connected this way with so many people, you know? And the show was really rough. It wasn't polished like it is now. It was kind of something we kind of threw together, but the response let us know, okay, this is something we can do from here on out, you know, to try to keep this legacy alive, keep this music going. You know, it gets tough being an artist, especially when anybody can be an artist now if they have Wi-Fi access and a laptop. So, you know, it's a flooded market. So we're busy with releases and videos and promotion and branding and all of this stuff. It's a nice little break to be able to step away every now and then. And I could just be Marvin Gaye, and Tammy Terrell. We just get a little break from being Elle Young and Crystal Starr, just a little bit, and do this show and connect with people and touch hearts, and then, you know, back to the grind, you know, again. But yeah, we're having so much fun doing it.
Okay, you mentioned a singer. I know that you know, Marvin Gaye was a prolific songwriter as well.
Oh, yes.
And he was an activist. You know, what's going on? Those songs have a lot of political and social meanings to it. What do you mean by a singer?
Well, a singer is someone who singers pattern themselves after. When they're coming up as a singer, trying to find their identity, their voice as a singer, you find a singer that you want to emulate. And that's how you start. And through emulating that artist, you kind of find where your strengths are, where your voice is as a singer. He is one of those singers, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, Luther Vandross, Whitney Houston, Aretha Franklin. Those are those singers that people go back and study their tone, their phrasing, their pacing, their vocal stamina, how they approach music. And you kind of start to pattern yourself after your favorite one, and then you kind of find your niche within that, you know. So when I say singer, that's what I mean. Singers appreciate those singers. They're like, wow, you know, I want to aspire to that.
Okay. So Crystal, you're going to be doing Tammy Terrell. Is there something specific about Tammy Terrell, or is it just a connection between you and Elle? And mentioning that's a segue into how did you two meet and become an item?
Yeah, I mean, the first time I actually heard about Tammy Terrell, my sister's named after her, and I didn't know who she was when I was little, obviously, until my mom was telling me. She's like, yeah, there's a singer named Tammy Terrell. And then my parents used to listen to, Marvin Gaye was their favorite artist when they were together, and so that music was always played in our household. So when Elle asked me if I would, you know, play Tammy Terrell, I mean, we all knew the story about what happened with her in her life, and her story of just, you know, unfortunately, her leaving the earth on, you know, when she was like 24, 25 years old. And just a powerful story, but like such a powerful impact at such a young age that, you know, telling the story was, I think, really important, especially with like her story of like going through abuse, different artists and stuff like that. And I think it's really an important thing to share that a woman that has been through so much like that can really make a huge impact at such a young age. And so, like I said, when Elle asked me to play the part of Tammy, I really didn't think about it too much. I was just like, yeah, of course. You know, we've sung with each other for years. The way that we came together was, I think it was in 2010. We first were brought together by singing background for Jermaine Jackson, for some shows that we did with Jermaine Jackson. And we've been friends ever since then. And yeah, we have a lot of fun singing together. And understand each other musically. So it's been great, yeah.
And a little aside, we actually, in 2010, we recorded a song together. And we were just in the studio one day, messing around. We was like, hey, let's do a duet. And we were like, yeah, what would we make it like? Let's make it like a Marvin and Tammy duet. And so we wrote and recorded this song in one day. And it is like a Marvin and Tammy duet where we had no idea at that time that we would ever be doing this now in 2025. And so it's kind of come full circle. And that single is still out, by the way. It's called All Right. It's on Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you stream or buy your digital music, you can buy that song. It's All Right by L. Young featuring Crystal Starr. But that song kind of set us on a trajectory to where we are now.
Okay, so you write songs and you've you've put out albums. How long? When did you start publishing albums, and how successful has that been for you?
My first album, I think, was in 2007, when like a couple of years after I moved out here. And I've been my last release was single. 2 releases this year in February. So I've been consistently putting out music like every 2 years since 2007. I've charted on the Billboard charts at number 20 with my single called Love is a Verb. That was in 2014. And been number 1 in the UK charts twice in 2019 with a couple of singles. So it's been successful. I have fans all over the world. No, I'm not.
He's a rock star.
You know, I have my little niche of fans all over the world, you know, and that's all I can ask for. They listen to my music and they pay attention to what's going on, you know.
Okay, so Crystal, do you travel with L when he travels across the country, or do you travel in other venues and with other groups to sing, or is it just the Marvin and Tammy Terrell?
No, it's the same. I mean, we travel together when we're doing this show together, and we do other shows as well together. But yes, I do sing with other people as well. I sing with my own stuff. I tour with my own stuff, and also sing with here and there with a group called Climax and with Paul Stanley from Kiss. So a bunch of different things as well, but mainly focused on this show as well as my own personal music.
So where are some of the places that you've been traveling lately? You were sharing with me just prior to this recording, and I was kind of taken aback by the travel that you're doing.
Yeah, we've been all over. We've been to Tortula, aka Tortuga.
That's his inside joke.
We've been to New Jersey recently, Portland. Been all up and down. Yeah, Washington twice. We've been all up and down Southern California, of course. So the show is really growing. You know, started here in the West Coast. We're still primarily doing the West Coast circuit, but the East Coast is getting wind of it now. We're getting more and more bookings out there. We got to go to New York next month, actually, and do the State Fair there in New York. And then, you know, hopefully we move to the Midwest, the South, and then out of the country, you know. This show has really taken on a life of itself. It really has a great response. And we're really excited to see where it can go, you know. And it's only been less than 2 years that we've been up and running, and we've already done a lot more than we ever thought that we would accomplish at this point.
Okay, so the club that's sponsoring and the Black and Laguna Woods is under the umbrella of the African American Heritage Club, and part of our mission and our purpose is to share the Black experience and our culture, and with the population. We are only 0.5% of the population here in the village, so we feel it's important that our aesthetic be expressed here, and to invite other cultures to come on so that we can do the same with them. Having said that, are you experiencing any prejudice or any setbacks because of in the industry? I know back in the day I had an opportunity to meet James Brown, younger, and he said that they were traveling on the Chitlin circuit.
Oh, yeah.
And they couldn't get in certain places. So what's the complexion of that like in today's music world?
In today's music world, that's not really prevalent anymore, but it's all about if you can prove you can sell a ticket. That's all they care about. Money, money, money
And
rules
numbers.
everything. Numbers rule everything. So the main challenge now is getting money to put into what you're doing in order to make money. That's the major challenge. Everything costs, and you're doing, at this point, there's not a lot of record deals anymore. Not a lot of good record deals anyway. So you're doing most of the financing and most of the branding yourself up front, proving you can sell product or sell a ticket. Then someone wants to come in and swoop and be like, okay, we're at our name, add some extra funding to you to take it to that next level. So that's been the most challenging thing. But as far as anything like prejudice or racism, it's just not, it's not the thing because of artists like Marvin and those people, those that came before us, they laid a foundation, laid a table to open the door to where Black music is American music. It is the culture. Like, that's what everybody wants, whether it's country, whether it's rock, whether it's R&B. They want the flavor that comes from African American music. So, so I don't see it on that front, but it's the money thing that is the main challenge. But as far as like our shows are mixed audience. Everybody loves this music. Everybody connects with this music. And so many people grew up on this music. And so it is really important to us to try to keep that legacy alive for the ones coming up underneath us. We don't want this stuff to die. Not to say that it will die out, but we don't want it to. And we want to do our small part to keep that legacy going.
Crystal, did I hear you say that you grew up in LA, Los Angeles area?
Yes.
What was that like, and what was it like breaking into the industry, being a native of Los Angeles?
Yeah, so I grew up in the outskirts of Los Angeles, like the suburbs area, and I think when you grow up in the suburbs, you're not really taken seriously. I think when you grew up in LA, it's like, okay, you're taken seriously, like you do this for real. But when you grew up in a city like West Covina, you know, there's not really, now there is. I mean, now there's a lot of artists and stuff like that come from my area, but it was not known to do music, especially growing up in, you know, my high school and stuff like that. So as far as breaking into the industry, I don't know, I've been pretty blessed, I will say. I've been really, really blessed. I mean, there's always gonna be hard times, and nothing that's good comes easy, I would say. So I've really considered this climb a blessing because it's taught me a lot. I've learned a lot of lessons. I've learned how to do things myself. But yes, it has been trying at times, and it's not as easy as people would think growing up in LA and doing this music thing, as you say. It's a numbers thing, as Elle says. It's all about numbers. It's all about, you know, unfortunately, talent doesn't really matter anymore. It's about your social media account. So, you know, a lot of those talented people don't have time to spend time on social media. They don't have time to like be making content all the time. So us as creative, we have to be well-rounded people now. We have to know how to do all those things. We have to know how to create content and do all that kind of stuff. And sometimes, unfortunately, our gift or a talent serves the backseat to content and social media now. So I would say that, you know, growing up in LA didn't make it easy for me to be a music artist. It made it something that I've been blessed to be able to learn how to do things, if that makes any sense, you know.
So if you had a message to give to young people coming up in the industry and just people of color, young people of color in general, what would that message be?
Don't allow people to put you in a box because of your color or because of your culture or what people think that you are. Learn everything that you can about your craft. Study your craft before you study anything else. If that's what you really truly want to do, then study your craft and don't let that be the backseat of what you do so social media can be up front, right? So never give up even when it seems tough. And don't always think that you have to wait on somebody else to do it for you. What you can do for yourself.
All right. Elle, where do you see yourself 10 years from now? And if you have a mission and a purpose, what do you see that mission and purpose being?
Well, I want to be a vehicle for younger artists to be able to express themselves, whether it is from recording or live shows. And I'm really concentrating on live shows right now because with the technology of AI, a lot is changing in recorded music. So we're trying to navigate through those waters right now. It's all new. We're trying to figure out what's going to happen with that in the next 5 years. But one thing that is still the main thing is the live show. People still come out to see, human beings perform.
Yeah.
And,
You want to feel something.
You want to feel, you want to connect. That's what we're put here for. So, so I've been creating these shows that will be a way for younger artists to come in and do their thing. And that's where I see a big avenue for younger artists to express themselves, whether that be a school or my productions or some kind of record label, so to speak.
Okay, so now out there in the audience, for those of you that don't know, on September the 13th, the doors will be opening at 7 p.m. and the show will be starting at 7:30 at the PAC. And the information, I think it's going to flash a flyer here in a moment, but you can pick up your tickets at the PAC or you can call me. My contact information will be on the flyer. And we're in for a treat because Crystal and Elle said that they're going to do a little impromptu singing for us right now. And I've been waiting for this. This is just a sample. So come out to the PAC on the 13th of September at 7 p.m. and we can enjoy them. So I'm going to step back and let you hear from Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell, and they're going to come in their own way as Lawrence L. Young and Crystal Starr. Take it away.
Ain't nothing like the real thing. Okay.
Baby, ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. Ain't nothing like the real thing. Oh, baby, ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. Ain't nothing like the real thing.
I've got your picture hanging on the wall, but you can't see or come to me when I call your name. I realize it's just a picture in a frame.
And I read your letters when you're not here, but they don't move me and they don't soothe me like when I hear your sweet voice whispering in my ear.
Don't you know? Ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. Ain't nothing like the real thing.
All right, ain't nothing like the real thing. And if you want to get more of the real thing, please come out on September the 13th at 7:30 to the Laguna Woods PAC, and we'll get more of the real thing. I'm going to have you to close us out, the two of you to just say goodbye and welcome, or whatever you want to say to the audience. This is going to be Lawrence Young and then Crystal Starr. Ain't nothing like the real thing.
Just want to say we're so excited to bring this show to you guys. It is unique. It is not just us getting up and singing the songs, but it's us trying to take you back to a concert experience with the artists. So if you've never been to a Marvin show or a Tammy show, or if you have been, we hope to take you right back to that point in time when you were sitting and watching them do their thing. Please come out and have a great time with us, September 13th, 7:30.
Yes, you guys will enjoy yourself. I mean, everybody that comes to this show gets up and dance. They're in love with him. Like, it's great to see just everybody really enjoying themselves to this music. I think we really transform. Right now we're Crystal Starr and Elle Young, but we really transform the show. So we're excited to perform for you guys. So come out and say hi.
This is Willie Phillips. We're signing off for Black and Laguna Woods. We'll see you in September. This show will air at 3:30 each Sunday for the month of August. And looking forward to seeing you. Bye-bye.
Bye.